Well, hello there. I was just reading a little bit about history. I'm glad you could join me tonight. This month is Jazz History Month, and of course, all month long we've been celebrating with great performances. Mondays with Mooch, and we had a live stream concert a couple of weeks ago with Don Braden. Well, tonight, I'm in a very special undisclosed location, and I've invited a few special friends to join me. Check them out. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Jazz Arts Project celebration for International Jazz Day. We are celebrating all across the world, and we're celebrating right here in New Jersey. And for everyone who's watching, thank you for joining us. And tonight, you're joined by a few of my special friends, the Warren Vaché Quartet. And can you just let us know what song did you just play for us?
Well, that's cool. It was briefly, It's You or No One. We were thinking of you, Carmen, when we thought of it. On piano, we have Mr. Tardo Hammer. Hello. On the bass is Earl Sauls. We know you're applauding madly at home. And on the bass, not on the drums, the one and only Mr. Steve Williams.
All right. So, as you know, we are celebrating International Jazz Day, and of course, this is presented by Jazz Arts Project. At the bottom of your screen, you should see a website that says www.jazzartsproject.org/give. Please help support our wonderful organization, and let us continue celebrating with our next song.
The nonprofit Jazz Arts Project has been presenting world-class concerts and events since 2006. In the previous 16 years, we have presented hundreds of events, including large-scale gala concerts at the Count Basie Theater, the Summer Jazz Cafe Series, and the Enchanted Evening of Song at Two River Theater, the Jazz in the Park Concert Series in Riverside Gardens Park, and the Talking Jazz Lecture Series, which for the past year has morphed into our curated Zoom discussions we call Mondays with Mooch. Over the years, the organization has hosted an impressive roster of award-winning world-class international jazz artists to audiences hailing from all over the tri-state area. What you may not know is that proceeds raised from all of these performances enable us to fulfill our larger mission, providing transformative educational programs for area youth. The year-round Jazz Arts Academy program for more advanced students, and our unique Head Start-style summer music camps for middle schoolers serve hundreds of at-risk and underserved families. The remarkable results of these programs prove the impact that the study of music can have on their lives and in their communities. Please help us fulfill our mission by becoming a supporting member with your donation today. Visit www.jazzartsproject.org/give.
Let's give these guys a big round of applause. This is the future of this music, and these guys will be in this band before you know it.
I love music. I love listening to it. I love making music. And I hope one day I can actually make music on my own and share it to the world.
I just think that music is something that you can love.
We put instruments in their hands, music in their hearts, and hope in their future. Please help Jazz Arts Project's ongoing mission. Your support can truly change lives in so many ways.
Thanks again for coming. You just saw a little video about our middle school summer program, which we do every year. We're actually recruiting now for our summer program, which happens in July. And you saw one of the students speak excitedly about how they love playing jazz music. And we've got a great group with us tonight, Vaché Quartet, who's playing jazz. So I want to ask you, when did you start playing? How old were you, and what brought you to jazz music?
Well, my dad had a wonderfully large 78 record collection full of Louis Armstrong and all sorts of things. And he was kind enough to let his kids play the records and take the chance on our breaking them. I broke quite a few, but he still didn't stop.
Those are hard to break.
No, they're not.
No?
78s are much easier to break than you think. But that's where I got started. I heard all of that wonderful stuff. And to be truthful, I heard Louis Armstrong play, and I was so young and stupid, I thought I could do that. So I decided to play the trumpet.
And this is International Jazz Day. We're celebrating jazz across the world. If you go to the website jazzday.com, I believe it is, or jazzday.org, you can see a map. They've got a map showcasing everywhere that concerts and events are happening across the globe. It's pretty amazing. And so I was wondering about supporting this day, and why support International Jazz Day, and why support Jazz Arts Project.
Well, you know, it's a wonderful thing that there is now an International Jazz Day. When I first traveled to Europe, I went with Benny Goodman. It was about 1975, and it was behind the Iron Curtain. And the reason we were able to go there is because a man by the name of Willis Conover, who worked for Voice of America, had a radio program that played jazz records behind the Iron Curtain. So jazz has been an ambassador for the United States and for peace and well-being for a long, long, long time. As far as the Jazz Arts product go, your kids stay out of trouble when they practice an instrument. Jazz will make them consider themselves as valuable people. It is really a wonderful thing to do.
And I heard that you haven't been performing for a while, unfortunately, due to the pandemic. So what's it like being back together with your quartet tonight?
I haven't seen these guys in over a year.
Wow.
You know, so everything that we're doing tonight is new, and I have to tell you that jazz is just like practicing. If you don't get to do it, you tend to get a little rusty. So we're learning each other all over again tonight.
Well, you guys sound great to me. Can you tell me a little bit about that last number?
That last number was from My Fair Lady, written by Lerner and Lowe, and it was called I've Grown Accustomed to Her Face. And it's one of the prettiest ballads I think ever written.
Very gorgeous. So again, this is Jazz Arts Project celebrating International Jazz Day with the Vaché Quartet. We're going to have you guys play another number for us.
What are we going to do?
In the ancient world, while other libraries came to exist in Greece and the ancient Near East, for example, the Great Library of Alexandria in Egypt was one of the largest and most significant. The Library at Alexandria was established under the reign of Ptolemy Philadelphus, who happened to be the son of Cleopatra, circa 350 BCE. He was, of course, the original Phillies fan, or perhaps the original Phillies fanatic. Okay, the library is estimated at its height to have housed as many as 400,000 papyrus scrolls. The goal was to produce a repository of all knowledge. Within the next 500 years or so, and through cultural, political, and religious strife, the entire library was completely destroyed by around 272 ACE. What knowledge was abandoned or lost from that library? How many years could it have taken to regain the momentum of progress the library might have afforded? Could it have changed the progression of history in any significant way? Recently, someone said that every time you lose a legend, you lose a library of knowledge and history. Because of the pandemic, over just the past year, we have lost so many of our loved ones, family, friends, fellow citizens, but also way too many of our heroes in the jazz world. Many of them our own close friends and colleagues, some of whom we have presented at our own Jazz Arts Project events in the past, and so many others that we only know from their music. As it happens, more than 100 years ago, another deadly virus struck the jazz community: the 1918 influenza pandemic. It tore through the United States, and cities like New Orleans bore the brunt of the numbers of cases and deaths. By some miracle, a particular 17-year-old young man survived, by the name of Louis Armstrong, a young man who would become one of the most legendary musicians in the world and one of the most influential jazz musicians of all time. Armstrong wrote about the story in his autobiography, Satchmo, My Life in New Orleans. He writes about the impact the Spanish flu had on his hometown in 1918 to 1919. There was a very serious sickness spreading around New Orleans called the flu. Everybody was down with it, everybody except me. He went on to write, anyway, just when the government was about to let the crowds congregate again, which would have given us a chance to play our horns again, they clamped down tighter than ever before. With everyone around me suffering with the flu, I had to work, and also I had to play doctor to everyone in my family and the friends of my neighborhood, which, if I have to say it myself, I did a good job in curing them. Louis Armstrong went on to become the anchor for all jazz to follow. He accomplished the triple feat of becoming the biggest jazz star of the era, the most brilliant trumpeter the art form had yet known, and the architect of solos so profound and ingeniously constructed that they're studied and analyzed and absorbed to this day. His importance to jazz, whether through his solos, his singing, or his ability to win over listeners, cannot be measured. The history of jazz, American music, and music in general would be much different if he had not survived. Many musicians have used this following phrase before to honor Armstrong's integral importance to the music, and it's true. No Louis, no Roy Eldridge, no Dizzy Gillespie, no Miles Davis. This makes me wonder, within these current pandemic years, how many geniuses and visionaries have we lost, or who among them could have made a similar and profound difference in the history of music? So today, in the next few minutes, I just want to honor those jazz icons we lost this past year. This list is no doubt incomplete. There may be some that I have overlooked or didn't know about, but it certainly wasn't intentional. All I know is that the great big band in the sky is getting way too big, way too soon. I've listed the names in alphabetical order, and while we pay tribute, we listen to Duke Ellington's Come Sunday, played by one of today's masters of the art form, alto saxophonist Bruce Williams.
You've just heard the great sounds of pianist Oscar Perez. And Oscar, along with Warren, was one of our special guests that we had on our show called Mondays with Mooch. Now, as you know, we're doing this show because we haven't been able to get together due to the pandemic. So this is our way of staying connected to our supporters and inviting new audiences to join us. Last year, we started a show called Mondays with Mooch, and it came on every week to interview musical guests to talk about their careers, their favorite songs, and give us a little bit of behind the scenes. So we continue to do that program, and so the next thing we're going to show you is a little bit about Mondays with Mooch. Mondays with Mooch will be returning on May 10th, so you can join us and watch it there. You can also watch former episodes on YouTube, so visit the Jazz Arts Project on YouTube, and you'll see a lot of the episodes there. So please enjoy Mondays with Mooch. It's one of my favorite things to do, and have fun.
Come on, let's clap. Come on, let's clap. Yeah, let's clap.
Anybody remember this? Right. I know it's not Monday, but this was our attempt at a theme song for Mondays with Mooch.
Are you ready now? Are we ready? Yeah, because it's Monday, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. It's Monday, yeah.
Jazz Arts Project debuted Mondays with Mooch early in the pandemic last year as a way to help artists, students, and supporting members stay connected. What we created in the process was a virtual panoply of engaging events, a backstage pass, as it were, into the lives and music of so many jazz artists and influencers, paired with a learning environment for jazz enthusiasts and students globally. In 2020 alone, we produced 32 Mondays with Mooch episodes, featuring more than 45 distinguished jazz artists and respected authorities. Each week, our virtual audience grew beyond what we could imagine. Attendees were zooming in from far beyond our normal stomping grounds here in Red Bank, New Jersey, from faraway places such as California, Texas, Canada, Germany, and even Sweden, to name a few. Thank you for supporting this program and keeping the spirit of jazz alive during these difficult times. Thank you to our program sponsors, guests, and partners. Thank you to our donors. You all help us continue our mission as we prepare to hopefully transition soon into a live performance situation. Meanwhile, stay tuned because in addition to perhaps more of these planned live stream concert experiences, we will be continuing the Mondays with Mooch series on a semi-weekly basis. Our next scheduled Mondays with Mooch will be on May 10th at 7 p.m. We will be announcing the guests for that event soon. Visit our website for more information and announcements, and make sure you're on our mailing list so that we can keep you informed about upcoming events. And now, back to the show.
Well, thank you for being here with us. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tardo Hammer at the piano, the wonderful Mr. Earl Sauls at the bass, and my dear friend, Mr. Steve Williams at the drums. Duke Ellington had a birthday either yesterday or the day before, so we're going to play a couple of Duke's songs for you. The first one is an age-old question. It's What Am I Here For?
Hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this live stream concert experience as much as we are. For those of you who have supported us as a supporting member or a donation for this event, thank you so much. As a nonprofit organization, you know that we survive and are able to bring you these kinds of programming by the generosity of donors like you. Thank you so much. This program is made possible in part by funds from Monmouth Arts, a partner of the New Jersey State Council on the Arts and the Monmouth County Board of Chosen Commissioners. Once again, thank you for attending and supporting our mission. And now, enjoy the rest of the show. In fact, we're going all the way to Thionville, France, and we're going to sneak into a concert already in progress with our friend Champion Fulton, with Scott Hamilton on tenor and Georgios Antoniou on bass. Enjoy.
Released a new CD a few months ago, and we'd like to play some tunes from that new album for you right now. This is made popular by Jack Jones, and it's called Lollipops and Roses. Tell her you care each time you speak. Make it her birthday each day of the week. Bring her nice things, sugar and spice things, roses and lollipops and roses. One day she'll laugh, next day she'll cry. Minute to minute, you'll never know why. Keep Next station high. Minute to minute, you never know why. Bring her nice things, sugar and spice things, roses and lollipops and lollipops and roses. We try acting grown up, but we're all little children, fresh from school. So carry her books. That's how it starts. 14 or 40, we're kids in eyes. Bring her nice things, sugar and spice things, roses and lollipops and
Well, this has been an incredible night. It's going way too fast for me, if you ask me. I want to stay here all night. It's been wonderful having this great live jazz music. And of course, performances like these support the Jazz Arts Project and what we do. And part of what we do is support our middle school summer camp program. We are actually recruiting for that program right now, which will be in July. Last year we did it for 6 weeks and it was all virtual. It was kind of like a TV education program. We did it all virtual last year, and then this year we're, fingers crossed, we're going to be doing it in person. So we are planning for that now, and we're going to show you a little video about that. And following that, we're also going to show you a video about our Jazz Arts Academy, which is our high school education program. And it's going to be a little video by one of our graduates and current board members, Ben Figg.
This has been a really great program for these kids. A lot of them come in with zero experience, and it's an opportunity they wouldn't get if the Jazz Arts Project wasn't here.
What I'm focusing on is pretty much just the fundamentals of music: pitch, melody, harmony, ensemble.
It's just so exciting to see them get an instrument in their hand. Sometimes it's the first time, and when they finally get a note out, sometimes they have to work really hard just to get that first note. So when they accomplish that, and to see the look on their face, I get a lot of joy out of it.
They come in, and in the course of a couple weeks, we take kids from ground zero to where they're putting on a concert, where the parents come and they appreciate it and everybody recognizes the music. And you could just see on their faces that the kids are having a great time and they're learning.
I really enjoy seeing my daughter how she improved in these 2 weeks. She started playing with the drums. She learned a lot. She's super happy, and we're really happy.
I remember when I was little and I used to come to band camp, and I used to always be like, wow, they're so good at this. There was this one girl, they used to always play the flute, and I used to always look at her and be like, I want to play that instrument. And I started playing, and now I'm really good at it.
I think for parents, it's giving your children that opportunity to do something that is so valuable for them, developmentally, emotionally, so many things that are so great when they play a musical instrument.
So now you can see some of the great work that we do. We've been doing that for many years, so we want to continue doing that. So please give to Jazz Arts Project. You can give to us at jazzartsproject.org/give. I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight for this very special event celebrating International Jazz Day. And of course, I want to thank our wonderful guests, Warren Vaché, Tardo Hammer, Earl Sauls, and Steve Williams. Thank you guys so much for performing with us tonight. Tell us what would you recommend to people to do following International Jazz Day. Of course, for us, it's International Jazz Day and Jazz Appreciation Month. For many people, it's jazz all year long.
Well, we're all trying to make a living. Go out and buy some jazz recordings. That would help us all immensely.
Where can they get yours?
They can get mine online or through arborsrecords.com.
All right. So thank you guys so much. And we also want to give a special thanks to Dan and Renee for hosting us in this very special, intimate location. So thank you. We've been well fed and we've had lots to drink and it's been fun. It's been like hanging out at a little intimate jazz club. Shh. No, of course not. Water, of course, water. We had to keep our tongues wet here. So with that said, thank you guys so much. You guys are gonna take us out with one more. That was fantastic. We want to give one more big shout out of thanks to our crew. We want to thank Roberto. We want to thank Jason. We want to thank Ben for helping us out. We also want to thank Jacqueline, who's on our Zoom operator. And of course, we want to thank the fantastic artistic director and founding director, Joe Muccioli. Thank you so much. Happy International Jazz Day. Good night.